In Europe, a fresh wave of enthusiasm for the new science of aviation followed the Wright success. Louis Blériot, a French aviator, successfully crossed the English Channel. The European powers, recognizing the airplane's military potential, launched ambitious development programs. Back home, however, American military leaders roundly ignored the Wright brothers' invention. The U.S. War Department was convinced that the future of flight lay in balloons and dirigibles. Finally, 4 years after their initial flight, the United States Army challenged the Wrights to demonstrate their flying machine, arranging a public trial under the supervision of the Signal Corps. You must successfully demonstrate 3 things, Army officials told the Wright brothers. Your airplane must be able to carry 2 people. It must achieve a speed of 36 miles per hour, and it must stay aloft for at least 1 hour. The Signal Corps then laid out the trial course, stretching between Alexandria, Virginia, and Fort Myer, just outside of Washington. On a bright autumn day in September 1908, Orville Wright arrived at Fort Myer with the airplane that would be tested. All Washington was abuzz. President Taft arrived to watch as the flying machine was uncrated and assembled. For the Wright brothers, the stakes were enormous. A $25,000 Army contract and a $5,000 bonus if the trial succeeded. The Wright airplane would be launched from a monorail. A 25 horsepower motor, designed by the Wright brothers, whirled 2 wooden propellers. Takeoff was effected by means of a catapult, consisting of a falling weight which propelled the craft down its single track. As the crowd held its collective breath, Orville Wright carefully tested the wind, then climbed into the craft, buckled his safety belt, and released the falling weight. The demonstration was a success. The Army had its airplane, and the Wright brothers had a contract.
I guess it must be getting old, because somehow it becomes fun to reminisce. Well, my first memory of things in aviation was seeing the first Wright airplane demonstrated for the Signal Corps in 1908 at Fort Myers, outside of Washington. So I took the streetcar and one thing and another and got out to Fort Myer. Well, there she was, as I had seen her pictured, the old Wright pusher. And there were Wilbur and Orville. And there was that old launching device that kind of looked like a guillotine, and they had the airplane perched up at the starting part of the track and the weight all ready to go. And I remember well, I believe it was Wilbur, going out, holding up a bit of dust and dropping it to see that there wasn't a bit of wind. And then, as I recall, it was Wilbur that got into the machine with, I guess it was Colonel Lom, and they pulled the old latch, and down this little wooden track it went with those funny old props batting around at apparently a pretty slow speed, and off she went.